Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So we got little Dallas here, who I told you I was probably gonna add stuffing to, and that's what we're gonna do today. So yeah, here he is. He's pretty like floppy, I guess, which some people might like how floppy he is. I don't know, but I don't really like it because it's like to the point where I can fold him in half and stuff. So I do want to add some more stuffing. And I also want to see if I can move his weight pouch up a little bit. So yeah, so I do have a box of my reborning stuff. So I've got, in this box is a bag of stuffing. So this is all the stuffing I have left over. Yeah. This kind of has a bunch of stuff, but the thing I need from this bag is the zip ties. So we'll need these to put his head back on because we are going to have to take his head off to do this. So I guess we'll start by undressing him because I think it'll just be easier if we take off all of this. So I think I'm going to undress him and then I'll be back. Okay, so I got Dallas undressed. I took off his diaper and everything. And oh, you can see where I wrote February 2026 because that's when I made him. Lily also has this on her. Hers is March 2026 though. I can't remember if I put it on my mom's dolls. And while I have no intention of selling Dallas or Lily, that is why I put it on there. If I do sell them, that way you know where it is. And if I do hypothetically ever decide to sell them, I'll also put my name and sign it. Just that way it'll be easier if they go from like hand to hand, like they have different owners. It makes it easier to know who the artist is, so that doesn't get lost in translation. But yeah, so I'm going to grab my wire cutters, or I think I called these pliers in one of my videos. That was I misspoke. But yeah. So I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to show this on camera, and this also just might be kind of hard to do. But I'm gonna have to cut this zip tie off so I can get his head off. So I might actually do that off camera because I do think it'll be hard to do, and also I don't think I'll really be able to do a very good job at recording it anyway. So I think I'll try and get this off and then I'll be back. Okay, so I did get his head off. He doesn't have his head. I don't think I'm going to remove his arms and legs. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. Here's his head. I'm sorry if this is creepy, but here's his head. And you can see he has stuffing up in there, and he also has a waiting pouch in there. But we're just going to put his head to the side because we don't really need that right now. And then I do think I am going to take all of this stuffing out and his waiting pouch. Because like I said, I do think I want to try and rearrange that too. But yeah. Okay, we'll take this out. This is his waiting pouch. So it is using a sock or like a stocking. Yeah. I think I'll leave the rest of this in here, and we're just gonna try and rearrange it. I don't really know what I'm doing that much because I've only made 3 dolls, so you know, but we're just gonna try and rearrange this. So So I think I want this to sit like higher up, I guess, in his body. I don't know how to word it. And I do also think I am going to retie this, because I think also part of my issue with this is that this can move so freely. Lily's is like tight enough that it can't really move like that, you know? It does make it a little more difficult to get it inside the body, but that's okay. This is, I believe, yes, this is double, like, I put it in there and then I pulled this over top of the ball, so I do want to say that. So I'm gonna like tie it way down here, and hopefully that'll work. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Okay, so now this won't be able to move as much, and I'll just fold this back over maybe, like this. Also, I think I said in a TikTok that he was like 5.5 to like 6 pounds, which I know 5 pounds isn't 100% accurate, because I'm pretty sure I forgot to calculate how many ounces he was, so he would have been over 5 pounds. But his COA/birth certificate does say he's 5 pounds. So I do want to say that. And I don't think I'm going to reweigh him right now. I probably will at some point, but I don't think I will right now. But this will change his weight a little bit, I'm sure. But yeah, okay, now I think I am going to add more stuffing down in here. I think when I was making him, I was worried I wasn't going to have enough stuffing for all 3 dolls, which is part of why I didn't stuff him enough. I was also worried about overstuffing, but honestly, I don't think, even if he were overstuffed, it's not like the end of the world. He'd be a little chunky, but, and maybe a little stiff, like my mom's baby ended up being, but, so I don't want to make him that chunky, but, you know. And now, I don't know, I may actually add all of this stuffing to the bottom of that. I just don't like that, because I like understuffed him, he was like really like floppy and stuff, and like also because he was so like understuffed, even like his clothes, which are like newborn sized, which is the size he's supposed to wear, like were too big, like the onesies and things, but hopefully now they should fit him. But I've always been worried that if I tried preemie would have been too small. Especially because like preemies are like up to, and I know it's not quite the same, like a real baby versus doll, it's not quite the same, but the babies are like up to 18 inches and he's 20 inches, so I was worried the preemie would still be too small. Plus, like, I don't know, I kind of figured I was probably always gonna stuff him, so I also just didn't want to buy a bunch of preemie clothes and then don't have it all that they don't fit, so, or don't have it all that they do fit. But we're gonna try and fit this down in there. Like I said, this is probably gonna be hard to get in him now, but that's okay. We're gonna get it in there. I might have to speed this up. Okay, so I got it in there, and now we're gonna try and arrange it, like, kind of in the middle, I guess. We need the stuffing, and I'm gonna put some stuffing in one side, and then I'll put some stuffing in the other side, and yeah. And there's some more stuffing, and I'll put this in the other side. Which I do feel like these babies do need more stuffing than you would think. Like, I don't know. Okay, and now because I don't necessarily want to, like when I'm holding him, feel his waiting pouch. I do want to put some stuffing in the back of him. Sorry, I was kind of trying to rearrange the pouch a little bit, but we'll put some in his back to cushion that a little bit. And then we'll put a little in the front too. I'm trying to start with like smaller amounts so that hopefully I won't overdo it. But we're gonna put some in front of his waiting pouch in like his stomach. Because like also another issue I had with him is he didn't really like have shoulders, because they were so like flimsy and he was so like underweighted, so like understuffed. So yeah, which is part of why his clothes didn't fit very well. But you kind of just keep putting stuffing just like all around. So I don't know how well you can see. Yeah. I think you really need something like the front. I still want him to bend a little, but I just don't want him to be able to fold in half. I think he's about where Lily is now, maybe a little over, but even like over time, the stuffing will like in stuffed animals, how it like, I don't know how to describe it, but it like, they kind of deflate. That will eventually happen. So, you know, it's a little, I feel like it's okay if they're a little overdone, but. So I think we're gonna leave it here, and then, I don't know, I guess if I just ever decide I need to take more stuffing out or anything, I will, but. Yeah. So I will say, well, I don't really have this issue with the heads because they have this ring. I will say that when you're doing the zip ties, it is very easy to like mess up, and like they go from being too loose, like their limbs are gonna fall out, to being too tight. With the head, the ring keeps it, so you can't really, at least with me, I've never had any issues of the head being too tight. But with the limbs, it makes their limbs like really hard if it's too tight. Like his are fine for the most part. Like his will actually like move, but Lily's don't really move. So I will say, if you're stuffing your baby, just be careful when you're doing the zip ties. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this in, and then we'll put on the head and stuff, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got the zip tie through, and I already like kind of have it like on here. Threading the zip tie through can be a pain in the ass. I am telling you that right now. Like I was struggling to get mine to come through, but you'll eventually get it, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna try and make sure I don't have any stuffing sticking out. And then I'm gonna tighten this. And make it maybe a little more tight. And yeah, his head moves just fine. His head's not gonna like fall out, so we're good. And I think that, yeah, I'm good with this. I would maybe, I don't know, maybe should have not stuffed him as much. I might have added a little too much. I don't really know. I like my babies. I feel like I see everyone's babies and they're like pretty floppy. Usually I cut these, but I actually think I might put this, if I can get it, on the inside of this, because when you cut them, they are sharp, so you want to be careful. But yeah, so if I can get this in there, because I know that sometimes you like can't get them in there. But yeah, so I'll just leave it, and then yeah, but So I'm gonna thread this and try and thread this. If I can't, I'll just cut it. And then I'll redress him and we'll be back. Okay, so I did end up cutting the zip tie. But here's him in just his onesie. That fits so much better. So that's good. And I'm happy that this fits a lot better. Now he does have his sleep gown that I'm going to put on him. But this is probably going to be big on him anyway because it's 0 to 3. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll fit better now, but it's probably still going to be a bit big. But we'll put this on him and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're back and I got him dressed. And I'm really glad that I reweighted him. I think this is much better, him being stuffed more. So I'm happy with this. He's so cute, guys. He's not my little floppy guy anymore. But I am glad I added more stuffing. I do think one of the reasons why I didn't like how floppy he was, which I don't know if people would necessarily like their doll as floppy as I had him. But I know there are people that do like their babies pretty floppy. But I think one of the reasons why I didn't like him being that floppy is because, well, I haven't been around a baby in a long time. I am pretty sure they have a spine. And you can't just fold them in half. So I think there's more realism if they can't fold all the way in half. But yeah, so I think I'll like this much better. I also think he's easier to like hold and support now, because before he'd like kind of collapse in on himself, and he doesn't really do that anymore. He's so cute. But there he is, all restuffed. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.